Zenith VR is a VR MMO RPG. You go in, slice some enemies, level up. But let's be honest, Zenith VR is kind of easy. The only real challenge that comes in is your patience, having to grind events to level up. So I wanted to change that. What if we could get rid of your main source of damage, your sword and your guns? I assume you would be along the lines of, how would you even progress through the game? Well, I'll tell you. A little subclass of the Mage, DPS. This class gives you top-of-the-line Godstones that let you strike fear and damage into any enemy that crosses into your sight. So I went on a journey. This journey took a lot of time and a lot of energy, and you will be surprised with the outcome. I played Zenith VR, but only with abilities. And here's how it went. Anyone who's played this game knows you need to get level 2 to actually get your first ability. And there is actually a way to get level 2 without using your guns. However, it would take so long, it's not even close to worth it. This challenge could be plus 10 to 20 hours for that. And if you're wondering what's the one thing we can do to get XP, it's picking up items. Picking up items like, for example, basil in the first area will net you 6 experience points. The problem with this is experience points only scale based off of level, so you're stuck getting 6 every single time.
6 XP.
And with 6,000 experience points needed, that means you would need about 1,000 items picked up. I did initially try this, but once I realized it would take an insane amount of time, I just ditched it. I had to use my guns to kill 1 dog to complete the first quest. If you really want to know how long it would take without that, you can probably add like 10 hours to the time. But for now, we did our tutorial quests, got level 2, and earned our first 2 abilities, the Planar Traveler and the Lightning Strike. And with that, the challenge is on.
And I'm pretty excited for this, but it might take some time.
First, I had to test out how much damage the abilities really did. And it's pretty powerful. After 2 hits, I noticed he was pretty close to being staggered, just 1 more hit. So after I hit him twice with the Lightning Strike, I saved up 2 more hits to finish him off.
We can do this, 1 staggered and another perfect.
It seemed like that was how I was going to kill enemies for a little bit. Because at this point I knew I would need a lot of patience for this challenge. Just after killing another Sylphid, I went over to the event. I was severely underpowered for this event. But even just participating in 1 to 2 kills still netted me about 800 XP.
Worried about. He will. We did get 800 though.
Now if you've seen the top left of my HUD, you know what quest I'm doing right now. I need to kill 10 Sylphids. The problem is, having to regen your mana not only in between every battle, but during every battle, made this take an extremely long amount of time for early game. But you give me some time, and I'll complete the task.
Let's help. That's okay.
Came to save the day.
We return to Mika with all 10 Sylphids down. This brought us to level 3, which unlocked the Magma Orb, and this was quite an important piece of utility. It allowed us extra damage and wasn't tied to our mana. Now, the early game has quite a lot of quests. This one was pretty easy, all we had to do was fly through some rings and touch some crystals. But I was really careful not to anger this guy. First flight brought me about 3/4 of the way to the next level, but we had 2 more quests to do. And both these require going to locations, so this was just a bunch of running around, nothing difficult.
What is this patch of grass? It's a rock. A green rock.
Meeting Mika by the lake gave us level 4. Level 4 doesn't give us anything back. The best piece of util was yet to come. But the main quests don't stop here. We flew through the rings for this circuit, did a bit of a side mission with the Amara's Tears missions, and did our Corrupted Village mission.
The other guy floating here. Do you think this is where new people are like making their character?
And now we're level 5. We got a new ability, Pillar of Earth, which does some damage and knocks enemies back. But it's kinda trash and we never use it. The better ability is yet to come. Now something to keep in mind is enemies' drops. It's obvious enemies will drop weapons, armor, and their respective loot for the area, but enemies also have a pretty small chance to drop a Godstone themselves. These Godstones can come with their own upgrades, so it is actually going to be possible to get better Godstones than we have right now. And by that I don't mean any different actual Godstones, just the same Godstone with maybe different upgrades. Now our next mission was to kill 12 Exiled and 1 Ezreal. And I knew I was underpowered, so I tried to isolate one at a time. And it was pretty similar to the Sylphids. But this time, the Fireball really helps us out. We're able to save our mana to use multiple lightning strikes while using the Fireball to bring up his stagger meter. And after killing a second one, I decided to go back to the shrine just to get a little bit of stamina boost.
Oh!
And we didn't die at all, but it took quite some time, but we managed to get the 12 exiled defeated.
There we go. That's 12 exiled defeated.
But the Ezreal was a little too good right now, so I knew I needed to grind a little more.
Alright. We really can't beat those guys yet, to be honest with you. So we're gonna get some Sylphid horns, and then see if we can get some more XP and level up, and get the Wall of Fire.
And while I was out collecting Sylphid horns, I also forgot to complete one of the other quests I did earlier. So that brought us halfway there. And then we did the daily challenge, which is just the Pandau's quest, but timed. It's not that hard. And after doing that, we were still quite a ways away from level 6. So what's the best side quests in the entire game? The cooking quests. And I present to you the really scuffed cooking show.
I am going to teach you how to make a smoothie. All I have to do is look at it, and now I know exactly how to make it. You may be like, how do you put a station here? Don't you have to bring your station with you? You don't have any cooking equipment. I lied. I actually do have cooking equipment. So, to make this, we must get milk, and we must pot the milk. Is that how you make an orange creamsicle? I don't know, but it is now. Bam, 1, 2 oranges, cut, bam, right into a cauldron, for some reason. Now we're gonna fuel it with a lantern. Don't ask me why that's a thing. Now we must radically change the heats constantly throughout its cycle, but for some reason it makes the milk a ball. You slide the ball, and now you have a smoothie. I don't understand how that works either, but that is how you cook in real life. This is the real life now. This is not a game. I will be going on for 2 more episodes. We're getting canceled. It is not going well. Let's bring this back.
After that, we had 2 more cooking quests to do. Pretty much just needed to go back to the lake and scout out the farm, so really easy stuff. And when we returned to Brim, we got level 6. And level 6 gives us the Glacial Orb ability, and this ability as well is not as good as the Fireball. Its only plus is really slowing down enemies, but you really need the damage in this challenge. And yes, the Fireball and Glacial Orb are interchangeable, so we do have to stick with one of them, and we can't use both of them.
Basic noodles. Who is just... He is breathing.
But trust me, level 7's big. After making noodles a lot to get the next tier, I realized you need level 7 for the next cooking quest, so it's back to the main quests. It was back to trying to fight the Ezreal.
Alright, here's what I'll do. I will save up 2 lightning strikes and fireball him until we stagger him. One more, and then we'll get as much damage as possible. This is possible. This is winnable.
And it's crazy how big of a difference one level
Never mind.
makes.
Okay, that's not good. Why is it going through?
It was also at this point I realized the Fireball is extremely buggy, and I'm not really sure if this is due to the server lag or the terrain of the game, but a lot of times it'll just phase through the enemy or through the floor, and
Regen stamina.
it's pretty annoying.
Build up a stagger. Might actually be able to kill him before the stagger though. There we go. There we go. Almost out of lightning. We're gonna do one more fireball and then a lightning. We should actually kill him. 1, 2. Nice! There we go. All we needed was level 6.
And at 1 hour and 40 minutes, we finally got to the second area of the game. Now, the next quest wasn't difficult. All we had to do was run and fly around to these areas and scout them out. But the reward changed the game. We got to level 7. And what's so special about level 7, you might ask? A new Godstone. Blazing Barrier. And I won't spoil it now, but Blazing Barrier is the most useful piece of utility throughout this challenge, and likely the entire subclass. It was time to fight more exiled, but if you're able to keep them contained in your fire, their stagger meter will fill up pretty quickly. But these battles were still tough, so it's time to make myself stronger. I didn't realize it at this point, but higher tiers of armor give important stat boosts. So we took down our 8 exiled and our 5 crystals, and right after headed back to Mika. Mika gave us the Galian Glider quest. So let's go through some rings.
Alright, level up. I think that's good. What's next? What's next? Boulder drop is next. Drops a nearby boulder in 3 meter circle after 1.5 second delay, dealing 200 damage. So, it's kind of tough to say which one's gonna be better. This one costs more and does more damage, but you might miss really easily. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
Now, this is where it gets pretty interesting. Here we have our first main challenge and main boss of the game. These exiled leaders are pretty strong and we had to find new techniques to deal with them. And with no other quest options, we did have to get through this.
Fire him up. Okay, he got right out of the fire. This might be a long one. Hopefully he doesn't regen. Let's just get a little bit of damage off. Just a bit of damage. Get him back on me. Nice hit on him. Right there. Run away. He's gonna hit. Nice. Let's get a hit off him now. Run away. Hopefully I didn't miss. Oh, I hit. Oh. That does so much damage. Oh, I thought I had teleport. Oh.
And just as I was gonna get the kill, another enemy attacked.
I'm hoping this next lightning will do it.
This no match for me.
So that's a legit boss. That's gonna make it. He's coming in. Run away. Oh, no, I got hit. Hit. 1, 2. Here we go. Stop flagging and we can do it. I think we did it. Yes, we did. Pillar of Earth new. Cool. Run away. We gotta get out of here.
However, there is a second one, which is the last one of the quest, so we did have to go through this one more time.
One more. Can I TP? No, I can't. Run away. Come in with this. Let's go! Ooh!
And now the second boss was defeated. And we also opened a pretty lucky chest right after.
Oh, shoes! Level 10 shoes!
And just before we had to go to the next area, we had one more quest to do. That's to gain intel from these rangers. I got the first 2 pretty fast, but it's a random chance of them dropping and the third one took a couple kills. And we're on to the next area now, but real quick, I have something to say.
Till next time, Agent.
Nice. You know, I had an idea. This is completely off, but I need to put this out there. Just like a Zenith race. Imagine you just get a bunch of people together and you just like, maybe not even gliding, but like, the idea of just like jumping up and parkouring and be like, and then like vaulting over is just, it's too fun to pass up. My idea on the race, the Zenith race, I feel like this game, I'm going to be 100% honest with this, I love this game so much, and it's one of my favorite games to play right now. I've alpha and beta tested it, so I play this game basically like twice already, and my main account's already like level 20 something, like 25 or so. So I've been playing this game quite a bit. Most of my leveling was done before making videos as well. And I absolutely love this game, and I think it has so much potential. But right now, it seems very bare bones. I know it's very early, but I think this had too high hopes for what it came to be. So if they consistently update it, then sure, it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Because they're already adding the third class, they have more things on the roadmap, they're planning to keep updating the game. So the game will have at least a niche, but dedicated fan base. But I think if we kind of like come together and get all the content creators or just random people together to do these crazy fun mini games or challenges, this game could grow in popularity and grow in excitement, and we could probably change the way people see Zenith. I'm already trying to do that with these videos. All the videos right now that I see are pretty much just tutorials and tips and tricks, and I'm trying to make that more of a variety and, you know, make it more exciting for everyone to watch this game. Because without the major content that isn't just, hey, I'm playing the game, like, the game isn't as interesting. You see that you see people play the game and you're like, okay, that's it, great. But if you see another perspective of content, like mine, maybe you'll have another interest. You'll be like, wow, this is a very interesting video. I want more of it. I want, like, it adds more variety to the game without even changing the game. That's my point. So I feel like if we're able to come together and do more of that, this game will thrive. And that's the end of my speech. I would love to hear anyone's thoughts on this.
Now, the quests for the next area do require a lot of moving around, just like any of them. You have the classic, search these places, but Essence Batteries is a pretty fun one. You get to fly up to these floating things and climb around, pull some levers, and hit the button. I really do love quests that take advantage of the game's movement like that. So, I completed all those quests, and this is where the game takes a turn. These next levels are extremely grindy, and there's not many main quests. So there's a lot of back and forth between the main area and the early areas. But that doesn't mean there was nothing to do. We went through a couple collection quests, an event, and I realized cooking was still there. I refined my cooking skills and cooked 3 plates of basil noodles, in which then I took the Namika and got some XP. And we weren't level 10 yet, but we were darn close, so I went to do one more event. And it was during this event I found what would become the most important strategy in the entire challenge.
What if I just, like, have all of them target me real quick, run to the other side, and just, like... This will be some good, right? So laggy, what the? Let's just do this. Hit me, hit me. Woo! Oh, that was sick! That was so sick, that was so satisfying. They were all just dead. Okay, this might be hard.
All I had to do was target every single enemy in the area, bring them together, and then fire and combo fireball on them. It'll do massive damage and give them all stagger. This is how I did most events from now on, as it was quick and efficient. Now, we weren't strong enough to defeat this entire event, but we did get enough XP to get level 10. So we can now continue with the game.
Oh, hey, level 10, perfect. That's what we needed, and a pretty good amount at that.
And our next quest was Amara's children. All we had to do was defeat 2 pretty powerful rangers to get 2 keys from them. These can be considered the bosses of the area, but you really just need patience over power.
Just use our fireball for that. We're gonna get targeted if we don't move back, but we're out of stamina. And we have 150, so let's just do that. Stagger, 1, 2. That's some good damage, that's good damage. Bam! Oh, clean. All right, we got a key. And fireball. Okay, don't hit. We need literally 1 pixel of damage now. Ooh, she went at me, but that's okay. We got it. That last hit was actually very scary. 1 here and 1 up there. We aren't gonna be able to. We have to get in their way, but we got it.
Now, we need level 11. So it was back to the cooking quests. And we needed to gather carrots for another one. And here I found an important bug that's definitely gonna need to be fixed.
I want to find something out. This game isn't like super polished. Does gathering... Can you just gather by doing this? Yeah. This game might need a little bit of refinement.
But after gathering, we cooked the food. It still wasn't enough. The only other quest I knew that I haven't done was the group quest for the first area. It gave 4,400 XP, so it was pretty much worth it. But once I went in, I noticed it was still extremely difficult.
Okay, yeah. I'm not ready to do this solo. I don't think it's gonna be the right time.
But after doing some collection quests, we were really close to level 11. All we had to do was go back to the Amara forest and kill a couple normal enemies. And then, once I got level 11 and went back to check the quests, there was no main quest, only a hunt. This was extremely bad news. This means we would pretty much have to grind the entirety of level 11. I ended up sitting down for a little bit and just contemplating this entire challenge.
Level 12. Oh man, dude, it's too late to do this. It's 9 o'clock. Oh.
It was also at this point I ended up sitting in real life for most of this, because standing for 4.5 hours is very, very hard. Now, the cooking quests barely give any XP, so it wasn't fun to see that. So for an extremely long time, we were out grinding events and collection quests. It dragged on so long, my patience was running extremely dry. It made every loss that much more aggravating. And after an entire hour of grinding, I was extremely excited for the next level.
Let's go! Yes! Oh my god!
Now, back on the main quest, it was time to run around some more. We had to go to 4 crystals and interact with them for a few seconds. Easy XP. Then we rolled through the treetop tour, just more flying through rings, and once we did it, it was back to grinding. But hey, we got to check out the cooking quests again. And the cooking quests were pretty easy. We could use the gather bug to get one done, and all we had to do was plant carrots that were given to us in the first field. And it was timed, but they give you so much time, it's nearly impossible to fail as long as you have the carrots. Now, grinding to level 13 wasn't as difficult since we were pretty close, but it did take a little bit of time. And once we hit it, we were back on the main quest journey.
Yes! Level 13! Oh, yeah. Not as bad as level 11, I'll say that, but
And it's pretty easy. We just had to climb up here and defend the area for 30 seconds. Which really just comes down to dodging all the attacks and not actually trying to kill the Revu and getting that done. But because of the pain she brought me in my last video, I struck her down again.
And thus, she was slain for giving me so much trouble in my last video. She's gone. Just like that.
Now, grinding through level 11 was painful, but level 13 wasn't much better. And pretty much as soon as we hit level 14, I had no words and was completely exhausted.
3, 2, 1. Very good.
But we were able to do a new cooking quest where we had to kill 7 dogs to get 7 recipe pieces, and it wasn't always a 100% chance they would drop it, so it took a little bit. But we did it. But this would actually end up being the last quest I did for the entire challenge. I was over 7 hours in and completely exhausted. It was way into the AMs. And being so late at night, my brain was running with thoughts. So, I'll leave you with this and what I have to say going forward.
We're gonna have a talk. So, this game is extremely grindy, and there's not enough quests. That obviously will change in the near future when they add more quests to the game, because that is in their roadmap. But right now, I might just need to call it. Doing this with only spells likely is possible. Even up to my main account, which is level 25. There is no major boss in the game throughout that path that is like that difficult. The Demon Dog is an optional quest, and I didn't even do that until like level 24. But a challenge like this isn't meant for the game to be beaten. A challenge like this was meant to see if this was theoretically possible. And currently it is theoretically possible. I've gone extremely far, but I'm getting to the point where I have to grind every level. I have a main account that's level 25. I haven't even experienced everything in the game. So I can't, but I don't want to reset all the progress, waste 40 hours of my life getting back to that and realizing, oh, yeah, I can do this. It's just gonna take forever. This game is like, obviously wasn't meant to be played with only spells in mind, but even if you're trying, it is darn difficult to actually get anywhere with this. So I think I'm going to call it. Now, I may revisit this in the future. I plan to revisit a lot of concepts in the future, especially a lot of these types of videos. I plan to revisit them a lot. I just think the amount of time it'll take might just double from the time it takes with normal gameplay. I've played this game for probably like 7 to 8 hours is my guess. I haven't seen the timer. And there's a lot of like mental fatigue that's come on me. And I think it's impacted the way I see this challenge. Because I don't see any threat in the future that's gonna make this challenge impossible. So for now, this challenge doesn't really have a direction and is just play pretty much the exact same game. It's at this point where I'd rather just go play on my main account and quit. It's not fun to grind a second time unless you don't have anything else to do. I'll revisit this. I'll revisit this challenge for sure. I need to make more content. Like, I can't sit here for another 3 days or so playing this game nonstop, and I need to make a lot better content to bring the community together. If I wait pretty much an entire week to create a video, that isn't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Just make everyone else lack in content, make the game not move forward. So I'm trying to put out consistent content, but I can't do that if it's the same game. But the hopes are still high. The challenge is theoretically possible, and maybe this opens up a possibility for someone else to try it and go past. And I would love to see, like, anybody just commit to any one of my challenges I do and go like the entire distance. Maybe you've beat the game already on level 40 and you want to see if you can beat the game at level 40 at spells only. I want to see this community come far. I want to go far and come together. But I think I'm gonna call it here. So just appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks a lot, man.